So one thing is good planning, right?
Yeah.
Now, and when I say that, I'm talking about having well-formed outcomes. And there are 4 conditions for having well-formed outcomes, all right? So the first thing is that it's stated in the positive. So in other words, you know, if you ask yourself, what do I want? It needs to be what do I want, not what I don't want.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people say, well, you know, I don't want to miss my sales target. Or your brain is already focused on miss sales target.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So that's one thing, all right? Because it's amazing how powerful your brain actually is. And then the other thing is it needs to be your goal or your outcome. In the old days when we could have human contact, people very often used to come around my house or they'd say, oh, my husband can you help stop my husband from smoking? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, does he want to stop smoking? And they'd be like, well, no, but I can't stand his breath. And I'm like, well, that's great. But the only problem is if he doesn't want to stop smoking, it's going to be really hard. So it needs to be his goal. When he's ready, then you call me and we can do something, right? So that's one thing. It needs to be their outcome. And now the thing is, you might go, yeah, but I'm a salesperson and I'm given the sales target. Great, but what could achieving the sales target do for you?
Yeah.
And that's the key thing you need to focus on. And then it becomes your goal,
yeah.
right? And then the other thing is, it kind of, just like we just did that little experiment with our good and bad day, you need to be able to have it sensory based. So you kind of need to have a picture of it in your mind. You need to have the words in your head, you know, the right dialogue, and you need to have a good feeling. In fact, I'll tell you a little secret, Hakim. For the past 30 years, I write down what I want to achieve, all different areas of my life on different cards, right? And I write it like it's already happened.
Yeah.
So it tricks my unconscious mind, because my conscious mind is going to go, well, you can't get it. But my unconscious mind, just like I said, you know, what you don't want, it's already focused on it. It's kind of going, okay, I'll find a way of doing it. And I read probably 30 of those every day, twice a day, right? And all of a sudden you're creating neural pathways in your mind. Now it's great. All the kind of neuroscience is catching up with all the stuff from before, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So and it creates, and it's great because things happen for you and it gets achieved, right? So that's great. So that's important to be able to make sure it's sensory. And the final thing is, it's kind of, they call it ecological. So in other words, by achieving this outcome, what's it going to do for your immediate friends, your family, you know, your work colleagues? You know, you're going to step on your work colleagues by achieving this outcome. Probably not ecological.
Yeah.
Right? You know, so it kind of needs to be holistic, if you will. All right. And so that's really important. But then at the same time, disappointment requires adequate planning.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?